Bruce Pearl becomes Auburn's all-time winningest coach, and what makes road games so tough? Yes, sir. We're back. It's another episode of the Barn Hoops Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Rush, aka Charlie Five, and my man Zep Jasper is on the other end, and we are ready to have some fun, talk about this Auburn Hoops team. Zep, I saw your video, man. Bruce takes over the top spot as Auburn's all-time winningest coach at 214 wins. Y'all did an awesome job. That video, I was an emotional wreck the whole time. Watching Bruce cry and then everybody being all sentimental and stuff just got me in my feels. So how proud are you to be able to be a part of that? And then just talk about Bruce and everything that's gone down recently.
I mean, it meant a lot to me because I got to spend time and get him a couple wins in with him. And I was just super excited for him. I'm always happy for him because I know how hard and how dedicated he is to the game and just to the fans, to himself, for his family. It means a lot to me. Just seeing that video, seeing the former players put out stuff for him, give him encouragement. It gives him wisdom to keep going, keep fighting, keep climbing. And I know he felt super good, but I gotta say one thing. That
Yeah.
dance, that dance he did, it cracked me up. That dance, it cracked me up.
Oh
But
man.
shout
That's
out to
his
BP.
go-to. I feel like I've seen him do that before. That's like his go-to. No, the video was great, and like you're on there with a bunch of players, but like also it's like Rick Pitino, Mark D'Antonio. I mean, all these like elite coaches all over the place, and then obviously all the players too. And then Zep pops in there. How many takes did that take you? Did you get it on the first try?
No, I got about the 6 or 7 try. I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't have believed that. You get through this thing. We go through this in one take and we don't have any trouble. But no, you did really good. And it was really cool. The things that he's done, man, just and you guys too are obviously a huge part of it. Just made basketball at Auburn fun. And it's awesome that he gets to hold the title, a record that may be tough to break. I think he needs a statue. Should he get what should Auburn do to show thanks to Bruce Pearl? Should it be a statue? Do you rename the arena? What do you do? Like, what should Auburn do here?
Well, he changed the game of basketball in Auburn. He
Oh, sure.
he he reevaluated the basketball culture there. Without Bruce Pearl, it won't be no Auburn basketball. It'll still be Auburn basketball, but it won't be the name we have now today.
Sure.
I think he should have a statue. I think he should have the gym named after him because, like, when you look at it, this program is going to be a program around for a long time now because of Bruce Pearl.
Sure.
Um, it's like players want to come here now. Players want to be. They know about Auburn basketball. It's a powerhouse. People don't think we're blue blood, but personally, me, I think we're blue blood. You can't name the past 8 years without naming Auburn basketball.
For
Without
sure.
being, you have to be a hater without naming Auburn basketball.
You mentioned players that want to come here. I would imagine coaches. This would be an attractive coaching spot, like for somebody. Eventually, obviously, Bruce is going to retire. Like I don't know when that's going to be, but eventually he's going to retire. And if Steven doesn't get the nod or whatever, I would imagine he's not only made this a great place for players to come, but he's made this an attractive job, which I think is huge for a job that's typically been frowned upon. I think in the industry, I think he's made Auburn a pretty attractive job.
Without a doubt, Auburn is a very attractive job. It's an attractive town. It's still growing. Basketball just keep elevating. Football is going to keep elevating. With everything is cool. When you hear Auburn, you just hear greatness.
Yeah,
You can't name anything we don't do good. You know what I mean? We know we got Alabama, but Alabama ain't on our level. They never will be on our level.
well,
Auburn runs the country, no matter which sport. But BP, he has taken over, and it's a job that everybody's gonna want when he retires. I don't know
yeah,
who's gonna take over, but I would highly appreciate if it be Stephen Pearl. I
yeah.
feel like he got He got the pedigree. He got everything Bruce Pearl has. He knows what to do. He know what it takes to win. He got the coaching staff. It's just a program full of smart people, from coaching to grad assistants to players, from people who help out to fans. It's like everything is smart. Everything
Yeah.
is evaluated to the top, up to the top.
Yep, yep. We don't. Hopefully, that doesn't happen anytime soon. Hopefully, we don't have to talk about Bruce retiring or stepping down anytime soon. We want to keep this train rolling. Speaking of the train rolling, Auburn rolls into Austin, Texas. Uh, Game ended up being a little bit tighter than they than we expected. Talk about the game. What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on? I talked about it shortly after, but I want to hear your thoughts on the game. I know you watched it. What you think about the Tigers?
Whereas last show we talked about being complacent, going in, being up 18 points, 17 points, and just thinking we got the game in control and thinking we just gonna come in Texas, just blow them out and just win the ball game. I feel like we got too comfortable. Once again, we talked about it last show, but we pulled out the win. They fought back. One of their players had 34 points. I didn't think they really took him serious enough, knowing he's one of the best players in college basketball. But we got the win. I can't complain. Shout out to Janai Broome and Miles Kelly. They played monster games. Those guys came through when we needed them. And my X factor, like we always say, Pat Baker Mazara. That
Yeah,
dude is elite. When he's playing
yeah,
on his A game, I don't think we can be beat.
yeah. He missed a free throw, man. I can't believe it. Shut the season down. He finally missed a free throw. 52, 50, was it 51 or 52 in a row?
I think it was a 51.
What's the most free throws you've ever made in a row in practice? Like just practicing. Can you even remember? Have you ever made 52 in a row in even in practice, much less a
No,
game?
I never made 52 in a row in practice. I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't. I think if he doesn't get slammed, the hook where he got slammed, I don't think he misses one. I think that messed him up a little bit. That knocked him off a little bit. I'm gonna protest and see if they'll wipe away that miss and we can keep the streak going. No, I agree with you. I agree with you, Zep. They got it all the way up to 21 points, I think, with 13 minutes left, and then things just started to kind of go awry. You had the tech on Miles Kelly. It turned into like a 6 point play in like no time. And then you had another tech later in the game where you had a 10 point lead with 3 minutes left, and that turned into a 6 point lead, and then just became a lot more serious. Turnovers late, like you said, just not sort of taking it for granted. Uh, but also road games are tough, and that's I hear that a lot. Road games are tough. Be happy with a win. What makes it's the same court. It's the same ball. It's the same goal. It's the same height. It's the same width. It's the same length of it's the same everything, except for it's just in another location. And what makes a road game tough? Like what makes a road game so tough where it's just you got to be happy if it's a 1 point win. Doesn't matter what the spread is. If it's a 1 point win, you come out feeling good if you win on the road in the SEC. What makes road games so tough?
Home games are tough because you always have the odds against you. Walking into a gym, you just know it ain't home. You
Yeah.
you don't have the feel of the rims. Everybody's against you. You got to get your own energy. They had a home crowd. Like, you just got to be ready to play for 40 minutes, especially if you're playing one of the top tier SEC teams. But Texas is not a bad team. They're all right team, but it's still a tough game to go in and win at Texas. Texas have a great history of having great fans, a great home court advantage over the years. But I was very happy with getting the win because I know it's super, super hard to win in the SEC.
It is. It is. I think the first night, road home teams were 7-1. Opening night last Saturday, home teams were 7-1. They were 3-2 on Wednesday. I'm sorry, on Tuesday when Auburn played. It is definitely tough to win on the road. Auburn goes in and they've got one. They get to go again on the road and play South Carolina. We'll talk about that matchup in just a second. But I want to talk about Composure. I spoke on it after the reaction show. And what I mean about this, Zep, is Auburn plays on defense a very, very tough and physical, uh, like brand of defense. A little bit handsy. Hey, we're back. They're going to bang. They're going to get in there and they're going to mix it up. And when you play when you have the right referees and you have the right like guys calling the game, and the flow of the game's going really good, everything works really good. The problem is when things start to get a little bit physical and there starts to be some, the referees have to assert themselves. Our physical defense starts to become a little bit of a hindrance. And we play with a lot of emotion. And then when things go wrong, that same emotion, I feel like sometimes can go in the opposite direction. And it leads to, dumb mistakes, dumb technical fouls, things like that. So my question is, when you play with such emotion and you're playing at a really high level, and that's sort of like your brand, how do you rein it in, so it doesn't go in the opposite direction when things start going bad? Because I feel like that's kind of what happened. Some things went against us, and then we couldn't really reel it back in. Our highs are high, and then how do you keep your lows from getting low?
Well, BP always talk about this. He always say before the game, don't make dumb mistakes. And by when he mean that, he meaning, don't go in the game, be full of energy and make dumb mistakes by fouling the guy when he can't shoot threes. Some people go out there and they foul, knowing he can't shoot. So the scout report says he's not going to shoot a three. He's going to pump fake and drive. So making a dumb mistake and going out and fouling a guy who can't shoot threes,
Yeah,
that's like an example. But going out and playing the scout report and backing up, knowing he's gonna drive at you, but you still play aggressive and don't foul and make him do something he don't wants to do. So those are examples on what it can be the high and what can be the lows. And also just going say being on the road, you down by 10 and the ref's like, okay, we can't handshake. We know y'all play aggressive. Be smart.
yeah.
Know how to play without fouling when it's crunch time.
Do they signal y'all for that stuff like that? Do they kind of give you a heads up? Like, do the referees kind of give you a heads up? Like, okay, look, it's getting out of hand. We're about to start getting you. Or do they tell you stuff like that?
Um, Most of the SEC refs are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Long as you're a good player and they know what type of player you are, you don't cause no trouble. You're not a dirty player. They will always give you heads up and say, all
Okay.
right, now get your hands off. Like some refs actually right during the game will tell you, okay, all right, now it's too much. Get your hand off before I give you a foul call. But some
Let me
refs are
ask.
like,
Yeah.
what you got to say?
No, I was gonna say, do you know them? Do you know some of the refs by name? Like, do you know the refs going in? Like, do you have, since you there a lot of them are the same referees, like from game to game? Do you know some of them by name?
I used to try to keep up with their name. Me, I was a very cool guy on the court.
Yeah.
Like I was aggressive on defense, but I always was cool with every single ref at the SEC game. Like I could go up and talk to them and be like, "What's up, man? What you do today? How it is today? Like
Yeah.
everything good?" And they would actually like have a conversation with me during the game.
Yeah.
So I would actually like learn the way they ref, their personalities, just a little bit of everything. That was just me.
So that leads me to my next question.
Hmm.
Is there a referee, or I guess is there some referees when they walk out on the court, oh damn, we're in trouble. They're about to be a problem. Like, is there? Do you have to change your game, like for some, so like the way certain referees call games? Like, do you have to change your style a little bit?
Most definitely you have to change their style because it's like me personally, I think some refs hates the way certain people talk to them.
Yeah,
Like if they don't get a call, if they don't call for us, BP is going he's gonna yell at them, and they
yeah,
and they know it. And some reps can't take that. You know what I mean? And so it's like they take it out on BP when the players are playing, but they can't do that because it's like we're the guys playing. He's our
yeah.
coach. At the end of the day, we're running, jumping, trying to play hard as possible. But BP get into him, get in them, and hey, your coach got to chill out. But he's doing nothing wrong. He's just taking up for his players and trying to be a coach, best coach he can be.
Uh, Hey, BP will get after your butt if you're a referee. You better have thick skin because he's coming after you every chance that he gets. I've always wondered that. Like, if you when you see him come out of the tunnel, you're like, oh, here we go. We're in for it. Like, it's going to be a long game. I don't know. I don't know if you keep up with it when you're a player, if you're that much into it from game to game.
I can tell you who used to keep up with it.
Who's
I,
that?
I want I want you to take a guess who used to play at Auburn, who used to keep up with stuff like that. And it's be like, oh man, we got this ref. Oh man. I
Let me.
just
It's got to be. Let's see. It's got to be KD. Maybe
KD
KD.
Johnson. KD Johnson. He used to do it every single
I'm
time.
in trouble. KD said, "Oh hell, I'm in trouble. This
I'm
guy's
in
out here."
trouble.
I love. I love it. I love it. I knew it. I knew it had to be him. No, that's great. I would imagine. I would just about. You just about have to have a scouting report on the referees too. I mean, Janai Broom. Look, you can't do what he did. You can't get in the guy's face or continue to pop off at him. You got to let it go. But I mean, he got hit right in the face, like right in front of you. I think it's Terry Oglesby. I think that was the referee, and he's always one that seems him and Pat Adams. They always seem to want to be. Those guys want to be more of the show than the actual basketball. They want to make sure that, hey, don't forget about me. I got to make myself known at some point in time. So that seemed to be like that seemed to be what happened in that situation. But regardless, they got the win on the road. Maybe got some stuff you can work at. Got to keep your composure down the stretch. Make sure we don't turn it over late in games on inbound play, stuff like that. That's just stuff you got to clean up. Moving on to South Carolina, Zip. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We can talk about trying to stay focused. We can talk about this. We can talk about that. They've got absolutely drummed 2 games in a row. Both games, they've got just completely destroyed. They've lost by a combined, I think, 55 points in the first 2 games. Alabama drummed them. I think Mississippi State drummed them. But they do get to come back home. I'm sorry, they actually played. They played Alabama at home and lost by 20. So surely they're going to be on the warpath. They're going to be ready to try to bounce back because hey, you go 0-2 in the SEC right out the gate. It's not like there's just winnable games out there. That's just gimme games. So you can't let this thing get off the tracks too soon. What do you think about Auburn going to South Carolina? What do you think about the matchup? Just overall, what do you think about the game on Saturday?
Well, South Carolina's a team lost 2 in a row. They're trying to find energy. They're trying to find out what can they do. They're trying to find their identity. They know a tough Auburn team. Number one team now is coming into the arena, and they just trying to figure it out. But they're just gonna play with their heads cut off because it's like we gotta find something. What can
Yeah,
we do? We're playing against the best team in the country. We have nothing to lose.
yeah.
We have nothing to lose. So I feel like Auburn have to come in this game being very serious from the jump. We have to let them know, like, we're the best team in the country. Like, okay, we know y'all lost 2 in a row, got blown out, but we're finna get y'all a 30 piece. We're finna come in, get a 30-piece McNugget, get on the plane, go back to Auburn and go party and live it up for a night and get and back to business.
Hey, you get that early game too, so you can get in there, get out, and get home and get the Sky Bar on Saturday. Like you can
Get the
get
sky,
home, get the Sky.
get the
That's
sky.
what that. That's what the team speech needs to be. Hey, let's handle business. Let's get the Sky. That's what we're doing.
You hit it right on the money because guess what? It's an early game. It's like an agenda. It's like waking up early in the morning, going to shoot around,
Yeah,
watching film, game time, saying, okay, all right, cool. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get this 30-piece nugget. Go get a little meal. Hop right back on the plane. Let's all go turn up tonight for this win.
you got all weekend. You got all weekend to recover. But yeah, you got
All
all
weekend.
weekend. I think you got a Wednesday game too, so you got plenty of time to recover. I love it. Go into Columbia, take care of business, come out 3-0, and then you're sitting pretty. You're sitting pretty in the SEC, and just sitting pretty overall. So, Zep, man, I appreciate you jumping on. I know you're busy. Tell everybody how they can find you, love you, and support you.
You can find me on Twitter at RIP_QUAN5, Instagram at RIP_QUAN12.
Love it, man. You can find me on Twitter, _Charlie_5. We're going to be back again. I'll do a reaction show after. Zep, if you're around, you can jump on too. So we'll talk again soon, guys. This is another episode of the Barn Hoops Podcast.